Hello. First off, I just want to say happy birthday to Josie. Now on to the important stuff. Hi, my name is Gus, and I'm your biggest inspiration. Wouldn't that be a weird way to introduce yourself? Sometimes, however, it turns out to be true. Everyone you meet has the potential to be just that, your biggest inspiration. I may not be anyone's biggest inspiration. I might not even be an inspiration to a single person in this room, but a lot of you, without even knowing it, are inspirations to me. Your pasts inspire me. Your talents inspire me. Your personalities, your achievements, your dreams, and countless other aspects of all of you in this room inspire me. Throughout my time at Appleby, I've learned that you need people to look up to. You need people that drive you to be better. You need to find your inspirations. I haven't always been someone to celebrate the best parts of other people. It took me a while to figure it out, but since I've started seeing people as role models rather than my competition, my Appleby career has been a lot more enjoyable. There are probably some of you sitting here now thinking, wow, I never realized how much of an inspiration Gus was, and wow, I want to be just like him. Well, you can't be just like me. Nor should you want to. The whole point of having an inspiration is to strive to be better in your own way. I want to share with you some of the things that inspire me and how I found them. I hope that by the end of my speech, maybe some of you will start realizing your inspirations and how you can be one to others. I was notified not too long ago that I would be giving this chapel speech today. Wow, I better find some inspirations fast. But I realized I didn't need to worry because all I had to do was look around. I'll start with my brothers. My brother Man is a true inspiration. After watching his chapel speech last year, where he cracked a few jokes and said practically nothing for 10 minutes, he inspired me to deliver a proper chapel speech. One with a theme and some real reflection. Thanks for coming today, man, and for inspiring me to do better. My brother Luke is also an inspiration. Let me get back to you guys on that one. Another very influential person, though personally not a big inspiration of mine, is none other than Justin Bieber. I would like to share a quote from Mr. Bieber that I've been thinking a lot about lately. You don't need to go to church to be a Christian. If you go to Taco Bell, that doesn't make you a taco. Inspirational. Though I'm not exactly sure what he means by this, I'm pretty sure it's a wise message about not conforming, about truly being yourself. Biebs doesn't care how he's portrayed. He isn't afraid of being himself. We can all learn a few things from JB. You see, if all we want from life is to be like our inspirations, then what happens if that comes true? You'll be a copy of someone great instead of becoming someone great. When was the last time you've heard of someone who is exactly like Justin Bieber, but better and respected for who they are? The answer is never. Finding inspiration is such an uplifting part of life. But the sad reality is that life is competitive, and we're almost programmed to be looking to outperform each other, as opposed to finding inspiration in the great things we all do. Whether we're trying out for a team, applying for a leadership role, auditioning for a part, applying to university, applying for a job, no matter what it is, our success usually comes at someone else's expense. If you win, it generally means someone had to lose. And in a competitive world, one person's triumph is another person's disappointment. We're always taught to do our best, and we're conditioned to want to win, so that when we don't, it's natural to feel disappointment in ourselves instead of happiness for others. That stands in the way of finding inspiration. Part of maturing and taking a bigger picture view of the world is recognizing that we'll win some and we'll lose some. But what matters most is the experience we get out of life, no matter what the results. When I was told I was co-head student ambassador for this year, I was really excited. But then I thought, wait a second, co-head? Was this position going to mean the whole year would be a competition? There's no such thing as co-head, you're either number one or you're not. Luckily, when I found out it was Mikhail, I was relieved because, well, no offense, Mikhail, but anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I was approaching the situation all wrong. I'm happy to be chosen for this role, but I'm also happy that Mikhail was chosen for the role, and happy to be working with such a great group of student ambassadors who do things that inspire me every day. I've had incredible opportunities to travel with Appleby. When I was in grade 9, I was lucky enough to be a part of the intercultural trip to Thailand. We had a lot of fun traveling around the country and learning about their language and culture, but it was the 3-day service project from the trip that has impacted me the most. We were given the task to build a small kitchen for a hill tribe village. My group inspired me so much by how hard they worked despite the crazy heat and their lack of construction experience. The kids in the village were so friendly and welcoming to us, even though we didn't share a language. One memory in particular has stayed with me. A young girl from the hill tribe led Josie, Ariel, and I down back to her home. She ran inside and brought out a chocolate pastry and gave it to us. This little girl could not have been older than 5, had not spoken a word to us in a common language, and lived in a place in which the people really didn't have very much. It was so inspiring to see her genuine act of kindness, and though she may not have even had enough food for herself, she was offering some to us. We can learn something from this little girl. We are so used to thinking of ourselves first, to saving everything for ourselves, but she inspired me to change that. Another amazing opportunity I was given was to travel to Argentina this past March for a service trip. Our work was in a daycare. Argentina was in a difficult economic situation, and teachers were striking at the time of our trip. This left Ceci, the caregiver in the daycare, alone. We came to help Ceci with the children. We repainted the walls, helped with renovations and maintenance of the center, and helped to play with, read to, and care for the kids. El Vagon, the daycare center, was in a very poor area outside of Cordoba. Ceci was often by herself with up to 30 toddlers and infants, and often went without pay. The parents of these kids would pay when they could, but Ceci could go for weeks without making anything. She was such a huge inspiration. Ceci showed up early every day with a smile on her face, despite the fact that she was barely earning anything from this job. She loved it. She did it for the kids, and she was amazing with them, singing crazy songs to the children, dancing with them. I even saw her change 2 diapers while holding another baby and feeding her a bottle. In the meantime, I was sitting on the ground, struggling to get one shoe on a toddler's foot. Ceci's strength inspired me. Her perseverance, her love for kids, and her enthusiasm inspired me. Though I was very lucky to be able to go on these trips, you don't have to travel halfway around the world to find inspirations. You see, Appleby is an amazing place to find people to look up to. It's like there are inspiring people everywhere you look. The prefects inspire me. Their hardworking nature and the organization needed to juggle school with their roles. My friends inspire me every day. I know that I can come to them for any advice, and they're always there to make me laugh. Love you guys. My family inspires me. They're always supporting me in my crazy ideas, and they also made me practice this speech like 100 times in front of them. They inspire me to do my best. My brothers remind me of the value of humor and inspire me not to take life too seriously. I'm inspired by the international boarders of Pole's House. They have left their families and the lives they've always known to start a new adventure at Appleby. Their bravery inspires me. I'm inspired by the teachers at this school, who work so hard every day to make sure that we get the most out of our time here. Most of all, however, I'm inspired by myself. Just kidding. Finding inspiration in life through the big things and the small is a great first step. But what has the potential to truly transform our lives is what we do with our inspirations. Thomas Edison famously said, "Genius is 1% perspiration." Nope, that's not what he said. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Imagine how dark the world would be today if Edison hadn't taken his inspiration and worked like crazy to make his idea a reality. Nothing against candles, but the light bulb changed our world. It was a truly inspirational idea, but one that would have remained just that, an idea, without work and dedication and perseverance. How many failed attempts did the Wright brothers have before their first successful flight? And when you think about that, actually trying to fly before flight was a thing, that's a whole different level of risk and dedication. Dedication to seeing an inspiration turn into something truly great and transformational. Our inspirations don't have to create entire new industries to have an impact. But when we have them, when we get inspired by someone or something, we need to act. When someone inspires us with an act of kindness, let's follow their lead and perform our own acts of kindness. When we see an injustice taking place, let's be inspired by the examples of others who have fought injustice, and let's act to right the wrong. Stand up to people who use their positions for power to abuse instead of to lift up. When one brave person comes forward, it inspires others, and a movement gains strength and soon becomes an unstoppable force. When this happens, real change starts to take place. The world was inspired by Nelson Mandela, who dedicated his life to fighting for equality in South Africa and who paid the price through years of imprisonment and mistreatment. But when he was elected president of South Africa, rather than using his office to settle old scores, he promoted further healing and reconciliation in order to create a better future. I think of Gord Downey, who was inspired to raise awareness of the plight of many Aboriginal communities in Canada. Downey used the last years of his life working hard to have his inspiration make a difference. And in doing that, he has inspired so many people to join his fight. Inspiration plus hard work is the recipe to create change. As members of the Senior 2 class, we recognize how lucky we are for the great opportunities we've been given and the many incredible experiences we've had. Appleby has helped us to look at the world through a different lens, through service and community and international travel. And through the diverse nature of the Appleby community itself, we've gained perspective that will help us as we move on to the next stage of our education and our adult lives. In short, we've been given the tools to seek out and to find inspiration, and the skills to use that inspiration to make a difference and to become inspirations to others. And that's a pretty powerful combination. Hi, my name is Gus, and I'm your biggest inspiration. Now that's something worth striving for. Please rise and sing hymn 460.